How much does the source of a communication affect its ability to persuade? Why does it matter who says it? Let's look at 5 concepts that show how the speaker affects persuasion. Charisma. Max Weber said it's a certain quality of the individual personality by virtue of which he is set apart from ordinary men and treated as endowed with supernatural or at least exceptional powers and qualities. Basically, it's the ability to charm or attract people. Malcolm X was a charismatic figure in the Black Power movement of the early 60s. He gave rousing speeches and commanded a massive following. Biographer Manning Marable describes how Malcolm used his charisma to influence both protesters and the police.
Back in 1957, 3 African-American men, members of the Nation of Islam, were beaten up and taken to this facility. Malcolm X arrived and demanded the hospitalization of one of the brothers named Hinton Johnson. The police refused. Within a few minutes, about 4,000 or 5,000 people all around where I'm standing came out here, surrounded the precinct, and demanded their release. Malcolm walked out of this facility at about 2 a.m., and after he secured the hospitalization of Johnson, Malcolm agreed to call off the impasse. He walked outside, did like this, and told the crowd to disperse.
But what exactly made Malcolm X charismatic? What characteristics do him and other persuasive people share? Authority. Persuasive communicators typically can harness some type of authority to help influence their audience. People comply with authorities for a reward or simply to avoid punishment. In the early 2000s, top CIA officer Gina Haspel ran a secret torture camp in Thailand. She oversaw waterboarding and torture of inmates. On CNN, Wolf Blitzer asked one of Haspel's allies to respond to criticism of her.
Senator John McCain had this to say, his career CIA official. Quote, the torture of detainees in U.S. custody during the last decade was one of the darkest chapters of American history. The Senate must do its job in scrutinizing the record and involvement of Gina Haspel in this disgraceful program. You were in the CIA during this period as well. How do you respond to Senator McCain?
Well, first off, this wasn't Gina's idea. She was following orders. The Attorney General at the time and the President at the time had said this was lawful.
The charismatic authority figure is awarded her years later when she became the first female director of the CIA. Please play the next video.